right, so welcome to another episode of the M&K Productions podcast. So as bonus episode, I'm your host Mac, and I'm joined here by Kristin, and we got another interview done by the woman herself. So Kristin, explain to us, what are we going to watch now?
Well, we're not watching it. We're just talking with the one and only director, Eva Husson, who's the director behind the latest film, Mothering Sunday. This film, Mac, let me tell you, it's been all over the film festival circuit. It was part of the official film selection of the 2021 Cannes Film Festival. It was part of the 2021 selection of the Toronto International Film Festival and the 2021 Hamptons International Film Festival as its centerpiece film. It's got a whole big cast like Odessa Young, Josh O'Connor from The Crown, Olivia Colman, Academy Award winner, Oscar winner Olivia Colman, Colin Firth, another Oscar winner, and Glenda Jackson, as well as costume design by legendary Sandy Powell. So I don't know if this doesn't scream like fancy enough for you and you all folks, then let me tell you about this film. On a warm spring day in 1924, a housemaid, Jane Fairchild, finds herself alone on Mother's Day. Her employer, Mr. and Mrs. Nevin, played by Colin Firth and Olivia Colman, are out, and she has a rare chance to spend quality time with her secret lover. Paul, played by Josh O'Connor, is the boy from the manor of the house nearby, Jane's long-term love, despite the fact he's engaged to be married to another woman, a childhood friend and daughter of his parents' friends. But events that neither can foresee will change the course of Jane's life forever. The film is based on the book by the best-selling novel by Graham Swift. If you are interested in the book is available. It was released overseas already, so it's nice now that people in the United States can finally see it now. We're going to sit down now, at least I am going to sit down with the one and only Eva Husson. The film will be out in New York and LA beginning March 25th, and then it's going to expand in theaters nationwide in the weeks to follow. Go check it out, and we will see you in the next episode.
Jane, you have no family. You have absolutely nothing to lose. That is a gift, and you must learn to use it.
When did you become a writer, Miss Jane Fairchild?
3 times over. The day I was born. The day Mr. Paxton gave me my typewriter.
And the third?
It's a secret. Good morning, Beechwood House.
Jay, is that you? 11 o'clock.
Not met like this before?
Who was that, Jane?
Wrong number, sir.
On a Sunday? Good heavens.
Hi, Eve. It's so nice to meet you. And actually, it's quite an honor to be speaking with you. How does it feel to have this big film finally be released out in the United States? Because I know it's been released already overseas already. So how does it feel now to have a much larger audience seeing it?
It's because of the pandemic, it's just been a weird release in the sense that we had a lot of dates that got pushed back, and we did release in the UK, but like the world release has been pushed back because of the US dates also. So, Italy was supposed to have been released and then it was not. So it's been a little bit of a touch and go process, I've said.
Yeah, that's great. And one of the biggest things I learned about this film is that it was playing at all the major film festivals, Cannes, Toronto, Hamptons, everywhere. How did it feel to have your film being shown at all these renowned film festivals?
Well, this year it felt pretty special because I guess you don't realize how privileged you are until things are taken away from you, right? And just being at a festival was one of those things where it's so important as a filmmaker to see people in the audience watch the film and react to it. And a lot of filmmakers have not had that chance this year. And the fact that now I got to go to Cannes, I got to go to Toronto, I got to go to Göteborg, got to go to Italy, to the Rome Film Festival, which was insane. It's a testament to the power of collective experiences.
How did it feel having it was not just your first film that was at Cannes, but it was your second film? So that must have been a huge honor too.
Yes. I guess, you build a career with like small and big moments like this. And it's not a small thing. And again, it's just one of the things where you should always remember like how incredible it is. I just every time, because it's a weird business in the sense that you travel a lot, you do a lot of things, you get tired, and then from time to time, I just try to remember me, like my 17-year-old version, where I would just dream of doing these things, and it just seemed completely impossible. And that's my career now. So that's really amazing.
Now, before we get into talking about the film, what are the female filmmakers that inspire you that are currently, or you're working today, or people that you just admire your entire career that you try to incorporate in all your work?
I really have like two filmmakers that I really look up to, and it's Jane Campion and Andrew Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
They've been very close to my heart artistically, and even as just female role models, just the freedom and the scope of their work has always been very important for me. And not too long ago, I got to meet Jane Campion at an Oscars party. And I told her, I was in competition in Cannes, and as like one of the very few women who've been there in competition. And she looked at me and she literally opened her arms and like hugged me as
Aww.
if I know how hard it's been for you. And that was incredible. That was just really, and I had one of my filmmakers friends. Yeah, I had one of my filmmakers friend behind me, and she told me later, I can testify to the fact that Jane Campion hugged you.
Yes. And now she's going to probably be a future winner at this point. I mean, Power of the Dog is just amazing, and just as amazing as your latest film is. So I want to talk, how did you get a hold of the script of the film?
My producer, Liz Carlson, was in Cannes in the room when they showed Girls of the Sun in competition in 2018, and she loved the film. She thought I had what it takes to convey this story, and that I was quite versatile. And so she just reached out to me through my agent, and my agent just sent me the novella and the script.
Was there a particular scene in the script where it really stood out to you? Because I was reading over in the press documents that you were like in it, reading the script for like about 5 or 10 minutes. What was the moment that you knew that clicked and said, I got to work on this right now?
Like definitely the image of Jane standing naked in front of this wall of books written by white men over like 2 millennia. I was like, this is such a political image of like this woman who's a writer, and she stands there like, like bare bones and all, and that's enough. She is enough.
Yeah, I could totally see that, because that's the moment I probably could tell. I was like, yeah, I know. So what was the most difficult part about filming? Because you can just say if I'm wrong or not. Did you film this during the pandemic?
Yes, we filmed during between 2 lockdowns, and that was that was kind of tough working conditions, tough emotional conditions for everybody. Just not easy.
No, definitely not. Were there any challenges that you faced through that whole process? Because you had a amazing cast that you got to work with. So what were you and some of the cast, those difficult challenges you were facing with those stressful days?
I don't know, just sometimes you have an emotional scene and you have an extraordinary actor in front of you, and there's like this couple of lines that just don't quite get to the point where you want it to get, and then you just have to push them as gently as possible. But I guess that was the extent of my challenge, like I was just very lucky to work with such extraordinary actors. And I'm not just saying that because, like to be diplomatic or just because that's what you say. Like they are a whole other, like class of actors. They're extraordinary.
Now the film is based on the book by Graham Swift. Has he seen the film? And what were his thoughts on the film?
I could not tell you.
Really? Was there a sense of pressure you felt to get the point of the film right?
No, because for some reason I was just very trustful of the process, and also I have this freedom in the sense that for me it's very clear that it's just not the same medium, so you have to own it.
Mm-hmm. What was it like bringing together this huge cast? Because I love the cast that's involved with this project, between Colin Firth and Olivia Colman, Odessa Young. It's amazing. Was it easy for them to sign on to this project?
I don't know. I guess we just got very lucky, because between the fact that they all loved the script, the pandemic, so everything was kind of at a still point. and Colin, it's the only project he took on that year. He didn't want to work on anything else. Yeah, so it was fine. It was very it was strangely very simple, and sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes casting is a nightmare, and on this one it just happened to be extremely easy.
Definitely. And what was it like bringing that chemistry onto the screen, especially with all the work that Odessa Young does, and between Josh O'Connor? I mean, when did you know that chemistry was right for them? And made them perfect pair?
When I met them, they were just very good. They're very professional. They're committed, and it just seemed obvious. I was not too worried about that.
And then the other question I really wanted to ask you is, you got the legends, Sandy Powell, costume designer. Oh, I was freaking out when I saw her costume design work. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
So what was it like working with her?
Well, she's a force of nature. She sort of makes things happen. Was not necessarily easy because we met on Zoom, and for weeks I was not even in England, and there were 6 other productions or 5 other productions working in the 1920s, and so when we got to the costume warehouses, most of the stuff had been booked already. Oh, wow. So it was just like, just her, moving heaven and earth to just make it happen. And I gave her a lot of references from the 1920s that I was very interested in emulating. Like, I have a slight obsession with the Bloomsbury group and Virginia Woolf and all the writers of that group. And the way Virginia Woolf dressed is amazing to me. She was quite special.
Oh, definitely.
And I based Olivia Colman's character, in terms of clothes, after her. And that was a lot of fun to emulate. And then Sandy has a lot of fabrics that she's bought along the years from the 1920s and 1930s. So she would cut directly in that fabric. Emma's amazing blue silk suit. Initially, I wanted another color, but then, Sandy really showed me that was just perfect, and I should go for it. She just has this ability to just go for stuff and sell them to you. And of course, there were a couple of moments where it was like, no, that's not, that's not what I want. But, apart from that, it was just very rare.
Oh, definitely. And I love the work that you worked with her. I'm hoping you can do that again. And then just one last question for you. What are you working on next? Can you give us a little taste about what you're working on next?
I'm working on a fairy tale. I'm working on some sort of natural catastrophe film, and I'm working on a film on social media. So we'll see what comes of these.
I can totally see your engines running with that fairy tale, especially what you just worked on here. So I just wanted to wrap up and say thank you so much for your time. And I can't wait for more audiences to see your film.
Thank you.